Hello and welcome back to First to Worst. I am Spanners. I will be your host for this run, and I am joined today in the booth by the wonderful Armadillo. Welcome.
Hello, hello, my beat-based operators. Glad to be in the commentator saddle again, especially after my run from yesterday.
Indeed. And speaking of runs, we do have another run for you to watch this day. We have Puddy, who will be doing a solo run. His opponent, Sauce, is not currently present. He'll be running later. Putty will be doing a one hit, which should be very interesting for us to see indeed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was under the misconception that this was actually the first one hit, but I think I think at least during the FFA, we might have had at least one or two one hits. Um,
Well, not during the FFA, but we have had several one hits run in this phase and the
ah,
previous phase.
right then. Well, in that case, then,
Definitely more the exception than the rule.
yeah. Well, I guess in that case, then, I guess we need to see what the seed is.
Yeah, let's have a look. Seed we're running is, of course, Seed 3, which starts out in J Hallway. I'm personally not a fan of J Hallway, but it's not so bad for the first hold when you're just dealing with statics. Just got to be real careful of your positioning in this one.
Agreed.
Once we get out of J Hallway, moving right along to Armadillo. What is this room? Is this teal room?
This is light blue.
Light
So
blue?
it's an interesting one, especially when the timing of the Source 6 spawns can be a bit difficult when the Harden spawn.
I like it. Once we get out of teal room, we come to the dreaded orange room. We've seen a few runners so far really have trouble dealing with the hardens in that room.
Yeah, just because of the long distances.
And once we're done with orange room, we come to the first taste of the Wiener's bracket for blue hallway, which some people really have mixed feelings about. I'm not personally a huge fan, but it can work. How about you, Armadillo?
I find it sometimes as a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, right on. And finally, we're ending again in T hallway, which I kind of like. T hallway can be a lot of fun to run
As long as you
if
pick up
everything
that
goes.
minigun.
As long as you pick up that minigun, which, if it's not mandatory now, definitely should be in the future.
Agreed, absolutely. So before we jump in to have a chat with our contestant Spanners, how do you feel about his chances, especially given the fact that this is going to be a one hit? I'm starting to wonder if there's going to be a lot of difficulty, in particularly on Blue Hallway, especially with those long sight lines and so six with scouts.
Mm-hmm. For this seed, I think the only room that could be really spicy as far as surviving goes, is going to be Orange Room because you have a lot coming at you at once, especially with that one Sosig coming behind in the green hallway. Uh, if Puddy has lucky rolls and can make his shots confidently and just keep control of the room, it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, all right then. Well, in that case, then should we jump in and have a chat with him?
Let's have a chat.
All right then.
Welcome to my everyday life when I have my windows open. I live at the busiest road downtown here.
Well,
Hello, hello, Puddy.
Hello.
oh no, it's going down now.
Yep. How are you feeling for
What?
this run today?
I'm feeling all right. I'm just vibing.
Yeah.
I was singing running in the 90s while I was waiting for you two.
As one does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Has this been your first one hit of the tournament so far?
For me, yeah. In the tournament, yeah, but definitely not my first one hit over a lifetime.
Oh no, of course. Didn't doubt that for sure. Spanners, you got anything else to say?
That's a lot. Thank you, Spanners. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, let
Shout
that
out
be
to
your
Super
answer. You caught me running to grab my tea.
Ah.
So
Bowl.
I was
You better
about to
share some
say,
after this is done.
Yes,
gonna
of
say,
course.
is Spanner's gonna be our silent commentator?
I hope not.
sometimes,
Like,
not this time, I hope.
has anyone seen The Longest Yard? You know, where it's actually on game day and they have that one guy who's commentating the game and he's just silent the whole time,
I
or
can't
is it
say,
just me?
can't say I've actually watched it.
I've never seen
Damn.
that.
But in that case, I guess.
Damn.
Puddy,
Do you-
I'm
are you
alone
ready?
in this one.
Commentators, do you want to do the honors and stick with me while I do my first reroll?
I mean, that's fine.
We can do, but we'll have to wait for the streams to catch up. We'd rather be in the commentator stage.
Yeah. Can you do
Oh,
me
well.
a favor and when you go to reroll, just kind of sound it off so I can keep track easier?
And with that in mind,
I
we will
always
be
announce.
moving over back to the commentator stage.
Have fun saying the words and speaking the language.
All right. And with that, we are about to see Puddy's first rolls.
So I can keep track easier.
He's getting
I
ready to
always-
open that
I always
box.
announce.
This could define a lot
Have fun
of
saying the
how
words
the
and
rest of the
speaking the
run
language.
goes. So hopefully, he has Jerry
I've
and
lifted
Anton
the
on his
clips.
side.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
am
we've seen a
lifting
lot of
this
prominent runs.
thing,
Oh
and then
no!
I'm going to edit reroll
It is
this
that super shorty. That
Yep,
is
you-
not a great start.
I think you spoke a little bit too soon there, Spanners.
I am lifting the clips.
So now his second
I'm
roll
lifting the
is that
cover, and I'm
of
getting a
the
bolt action rifle right
T8400.
here,
That's
which
decent.
I am
Yeah,
tempted to
no, I'd
take, but
agree.
I will
That
say
is
I'm gonna
definitely
reroll first.
worth
So
taking.
that's my second reroll.
But it
But
seems
I
like
also don't blame him
Alright.
for rolling it away.
no, also
I'm
agreed as well.
exposing
It
the
can
gun,
be.
which
Oh,
is
and
an
he's got himself
AWM,
the
another bolt
AWM.
action rifle with
The Arctic
magazines
Warfare,
and
also
scope
pretty
thing,
decent.
and that scope
He's got
thing.
one
So
reroll
I'm
left.
gonna
Is he
Yep,
going
this
to
is
use
his
it?
last
This is my
reroll, so
final
he's used
reroll.
up all of his rerolls,
And now
and
we're just
it
gonna
Whatever's
seems
in
like
this
this is what I'm
box
gonna take.
is
the
what he
weapon
has
he's
to
going to be
take.
stuck with
It's
is
the
oh,
same
it's a
gun, which
duplicate.
does not
So
count as
It's a
reroll, so I'm
duplicate.
gonna
he
reroll
gets to re-roll again. That's quite
Okay, so
surprising.
we're still
We don't
stuck
see
on
many
two.
duplicate re-rolls in
No,
this
we're
so
stuck
far.
on 3.
Oh
And
no!
once again,
He's
get
got
BFR,
the
just like on my
BFR,
phone.
which
The
doesn't even have 6
BFR.
bullets.
Right.
Which
There you go,
definitely
BFR.
5 bullets is definitely not enough to
Alright.
kill anything that moves.
Well,
I think I would have. I
No.
think personally, I would have
when you're
stuck with
ready,
one of the
tell me you're ready,
Balties
and
spanners. I
will
don't know
tell
about
to
you.
go, and that's when I'll
That
cut you loose.
definitely would have
Well,
been the superior roll
Seems
for
like
a
I've
one
been once
hit.
again off to the worst
Yeah.
odds possible.
For a
but that's
standard
fine.
health run,
I
you
got
know,
this.
you can
Yeah.
take it. It does
Alright,
come with a free
well,
sight.
Yeah, I
And-
mean this could end
Go.
very very quickly. Unfortunately, just with one mishap.
Well, fate brings us back
Um,
together.
It's
With
going to
that.
come down to what he can pull out of his first supply
What the
points, I
frick
think.
was that?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a very
What?
precarious position. I mean, Puddy just noticed something a bit weird there, I think, with the body of the
Ooh.
Sosig. But not
What was
Why?
that? I think I missed it.
Why
I
did
missed
he
it too.
explode?
Oh, I think it was the fact that the Sosig's
that's-
body just
that's
exploded.
normal.
But the BFR is a hand
That's fine,
cannon.
though.
It is packing that
at least we got a
powerful
nice little
4570 cartridge. I
spicy
didn't
opener.
quite see what ammo he came with the gun. I think it was a super penetrator rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might be right there. There was no immediate head pop there,
Oh,
but
see, there's a
he's
pistol yet again.
still being able to be very conservative with the ammunition here without needing to reroll, but reload.
Sounded
Sorry,
like
but
that.
his reloads, at least his ejections there on the spent cartridges are quite quick.
Not
He's
his
giving
first
himself a
rodeo.
1-point pistol,
Mark
and he's got himself
Oh,
the
he's got the Mark
SOCOM.
23.
Yep, that is quite the redeeming pistol to grab, particularly if he gets himself a suppressor for it as well. Also, for some reason, it's just naturally, I don't know what it is about the Mark 23 and the USP, but I know like with the 1911, the 45 ACP doesn't feel as powerful as when compared to it being in a USP or the Mark 23.
I think the Mark 23 does have a slightly longer barrel than the 1911s, but I can't say I've personally noticed it
Just
being
double-checking
more
the
or
loaded.
less
Yep.
powerful. That laser sight definitely will come in handy
Yeah.
going into the first hold, cleaning out his first incoming Sausages.
Yeah, having the lamb isn't
There's no chat there.
is gonna
I
make
don't know
things
why I'm
far
bothering
easier
checking.
for him.
Bad habits die hard.
You know, actually, fun fact, actually, the Mark 23 was actually the pistol that got me through my first ever one hit, which allowed me to complete
me
my
this
first
time,
ever
what?
one hit on, I want to say, Seed 4 with just the Mark 23. Statics have now
Just
spawned.
Mark 23.
Yeah, I know.
He, looks like he only had 3 come in, taking a couple extra shots
Weird.
on that
I
last
couldn't
one.
figure out where they were.
Still,
And he's
still
through.
not
That's
too
fine.
bad though in terms of timing, but it is of course just the first hold, and of course anything can still happen. This is a one hit after all.
And that's the important thing about a one hit is
Nothing,
not
my friend.
necessarily speed so much as simply surviving.
Yeah, because with the multiplier, oh dear lord, the rolls are not with him
Oh my
today.
gosh. He used up all his luck rolling that Mark 23.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, getting the TARS. I mean, it might come in handy
Oops.
for the Hardens, but
boy.
as long as his bulk game is on point here, then he might be able to get somewhere with it. But if he has to take on more than 4 Hardens, then he will have to swap back to the Mark 23.
The cause
Ooh,
is utilitarian. It can work.
how unusual.
Definitely not my first, second, or third choice
Oh,
as far as shotguns
leaving.
go.
It is
Especially
definitely,
considering that in the same pool you have stuff like the MCS 870 or the
Marshall.
Mossberg
I would rather
590.
take
Nothing.
the Marshall, honestly. And
Really?
with the Marshall, it's the fact that you can't even do a tactical load
to
with it easily,
outclean.
because when you pull the pump back, it blocks the loading gate.
Well, yeah, the Marshall does that.
Yeah, I'd rather
Yeah.
take that than a TOS, I'll be honest.
Yeah, oh yeah, I see what you're saying now. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. The
Although
Marshall
he does
is
have the
definitely
option for an
better.
SMG roll here, so he could get something decent, or it could be massively cursed in getting something like a Kedder or the AEK. Going,
rolled
even
a
better
stock.
actually. That's a beautiful idea. Going for a
Nothing.
stock for the
Ah.
Oh, he's getting both.
Oh,
And the Vector.
Vector 45.
All right, so some
Fate.
decent rolls now.
It's
All
fate.
right, it's
Just like my
this
run
actually
last
isn't
year.
too bad at all. I mean, the Vector at this point is effectively just a very high capped pistol with a sight.
It makes for a nice little carbine that you can use to hold off
Yep.
Sausages. In its current form, I would put it on par with the Mark 23.
Yeah.
Definitely not the best submachine gun
no
that we could
chat.
roll,
Yeah,
but
no.
far from the worst.
Yeah, it's my least favorite useful SMG. In that, if there's the option, say between that or an MP7, I'm taking the MP7. If it's between that and a Kedder, I'm taking the Vector.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying there. It's useful, but not
A
loved.
bit of a spicy meatball.
Yeah, that is definitely the best way to describe it. And now with that, we are
Trump
in
popped off.
Hull 2 now, in
Well,
light
use
blue
TOS,
room.
probably
Having
not.
the stock on that Mark 23 is going to be very invaluable. He's going to be able to pop headshots like it's nothing with that.
Like nothing, has absolutely no recoil. Looks like he has a very tasty cluster of Hardens that are going to come in right in front.
Only 3, so he could hit them with the
Only
TARS.
3. Unless there's one above his head behind him.
Yeah, we can't exactly tell from this perspective at this moment in time.
Depending on what... Oh, they're up already. Cleaning up 1, 2...
Ooh, having
Switching
to
back to Sausage.
losing a little bit of time there. Having to. Oh yeah, there was 4.
Oh, there were 4.
I mean, he
Down
could have
one
still
more
got
to
it with
go.
the TARS, I believe, but having to
Mhm.
take time out to deal with that Sosig wave, I think
I
will
don't like
definitely
that
cost him a
cover.
little bit of time there.
But that was the better move for survival, unless he could have taken cover behind one of the barriers, which can be risky because some of the Sosa guns do punch right through those barriers.
Totally agree. I think at this stage, though, because they're just equipped with pistols and shotguns, I don't think he has to necessarily worry about that just yet. But when we get into hold after this, then they'll immediately start having, I think, higher caliber SMGs and rifles.
Mm-hmm.
F200s and M16s, I believe. Ooh, swapping over to the Vector as Sosigs are spawning. In a bit of a slightly precarious position there with Sosigs. They're taking...
Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Taking some danger fire there, but managing to get some really good shots off in the blind.
Kind of figured.
Swarms have now spawned. Ooh, very good. 4, 5,
gone
past,
6. Last one.
Missing 2
Clear.
shots
So
out of
checklist for
the
things I
out of
hate.
the 9 he needed there to
That
take
ladder.
those out. Definitely
I
This
not.
saw
one.
those shakes right
This
when
roll
he
on.
recovered from there. That
Looking
was
good.
a tense moment.
Yeah,
run
it
is
was.
shaping up to
It
be
was
my
very.
favorite
It was
run yet.
very clenchy. I'll put it that way.
High
I got a
pucker
pistol to
factor,
stock.
one might say.
Yeah. You mean high putter factor? No, just kidding.
That took me to the finish line last time. So.
Get out.
But yeah, definitely. Oh dear, almost getting ambushed there by an additional Sosig. Weapon-wise, what have we got now on this supply point?
Got the option for a battle rifle, 6-point battle rifle.
Yeah, I'd probably skip that right now, or at the
Good thing
very
I
least
migrated.
explore my other options.
I'm gonna chill here for a minute.
I'm coming back around to the battle rifles, honestly. I do like how a lot of them force you to slow down and pick your shots.
I got a battle
So,
rifle for 6 points.
yeah,
I'm definitely
I'm
gonna be able to
totally all
reclaim
for
2 to
battle
3
rifles.
points.
The
That's
only
half
problem
of
I
the battle
have is
rifle.
that I wouldn't want to start with a 6-pointer.
Selling stage.
because
There's only 2 shots.
just having
no
10
way to
rounds just
upgrade
feels
the
a bit too
magazine
limiting.
now.
20 and above is fine though.
Gonna have to check the other shop. No way around.
10 is a little bit limiting. It is only 3 points to get you up to a 20, which is plenty in a battle rifle.
Yeah.
You need a sight roll.
And of course, given the option between rolling a
See if I can
6-point
ignore
battle rifle or a 6-point
this
carbine,
from that angle and
Oh, that's
come from here.
Sorry, I've just noticed in chat, Puddy may have actually missed his supply token from that supply point. Because I think it was an ammunition supply point. He's electing
Nothing.
to slowly
There's
clear
nothing
out
going
orange room. Usually, myself included, would just burst in there to hit the node.
especially on a
the
one
fuck
hit,
outta here.
I typically
They're
don't
coming.
see much reason to clear out the point ahead of time.
Nothing.
Because, why would you want to get into an
Nothing.
unnecessary fight?
Yeah, it puts yourself at a higher risk.
Downstairs we go, as far
Greatly
away from the enemy as
increases
possible.
your chances of getting shot, which in this case would be completely fatal to Puddy's run. And Rufflesauce is no slouch either, so if Puddy dies early during this, Rufflesauce isn't gonna have. I doubt he's gonna have much trouble.
This is where the game will start to throw
surpassing
enemies at me
Puddy.
from behind.
Farewell to
anything
the
can
TAWS and the BFR.
One.
Ooh,
He's
going
Okay,
for
battle rifle it
points
is.
to re-roll.
got an SMG roll, so I don't think he's gonna go for
You
that.
don't need a lot of rounds.
I
you just
suppose
need
he's
good
fishing
rounds.
for a carbine roll.
Yeah,
I would
which
keep this
or
bad boy there as a backup.
oh, you mean a rifle roll?
Yeah,
Alright.
Yeah.
it's a 6-point AR. He must be fishing for right now.
See, at that point, I would take the battle rifle. Then at that point, if I'm
Mhm.
desperate for it, and
I
yes,
think that might be what he's doing.
yeah, and Corky Boom, I'm serious, but don't call me Shirley. Sorry, just had a bit of a tangent there.
I see that.
I think honestly, Puddy could probably get away with just using the Mark 23, especially if he rolls Pappies.
I don't know. In Orange Room, because it really depends on the hold. If we were doing
on.
the third hold in some
What are you
place
doing?
like I don't know, one of the hallways, you could get away with it. Orange Room with just the Vector.
Yeah,
on
no,
hold
I suppose
3.
you're right, because with the shield Sosig as well that comes with, he's going to need something with a bit of penetrating power. Usually this is where
It's
a
a
bolt
beat and
action
you're
would
dead.
come in. So I think at this point, yep, he's resorting to
There it
the
is.
Yep.
battle rifle and he's getting the M1.
The M1A Shorty.
Yep.
I love this
Game is
one.
trying to pit me
I
against the
don't
worst.
really, just because of the
Not
ergonomics
in the
associated
case
with
of
it
the nuke,
compared to the FAL or
actual
the SCAR.
It's an area
However, it's still very capable of doing a lot of damage with it. I do hope that he does attempt to actually trying to load the M1 with a vector mag there, not without cursed DLLs, you know.
Now, One thing I did learn that I didn't realize before is that it does have a
Come on,
bolt
man, cut me some
drop
slack.
you can
Yes,
hit
it
with a
does.
button. So really, the only difference between that and the FAL is the capability for full auto, which you don't really want to do for a battle rifle anyway,
Yeah.
and a slightly longer
We're
barrel.
friends now?
Agreed. That, but for me personally as well, it is the
I guess
ergonomics
not.
of it, because at least because the actual like trigger is, well, not so much the trigger, but the grip on the
Mhm.
M1 is quite elongated in comparison with the FAL.
Whoops.
Well, there is no like proper grip. It's all stock more or less,
Do I
kind of
get
like a
peace?
shotgun.
Can I reroll now?
If you're a
Okay.
fan of using the Death Muncher grip, it is harder to use the M1A for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, the FAL does have rails. Looks like he's rolling ammunition for everything, which I don't know why he would put the gun on there first, just to make sure
Anton,
that I
you're
would have
playing
to
a
make
hard
sure to keep
bargain.
the spare. But he did get plus
You know
Ps
that?
for his 45, so that means he's got them
You're
for
pitting
both
me
the
in with the
Vector
worst.
and the Mark 23.
Did he roll anything for the
Yeah, I
M1?
hate
It
it.
doesn't look like he got
I
anything
don't
special for that.
believe so. No, I think it
I'll
might
play
have just
along to
been
your shady
default
games.
FMJ.
Okay, I think we're
And now we're rolling into hold 3.
Yep. I actually genuinely believe he missed his supply token, because I didn't see him pick it up or hear it.
I couldn't hear one way or the other. Looks like
Yeah.
he's opting to hold on the stairs, which is I don't know. It could be kind of a spicy place to hang
I mean,
out in
he's
a
on
one-hit.
he's on the corner of the stairs, which isn't too bad. I use that personally. But hardens have spawned. 1, 2, missing a couple of shots there. But all in all, very smooth there.
That was pretty smooth. Not a lot of time lost, and more importantly, it was
Darn.
fast enough
Of course.
that an additional wave did not come in.
Yeah, especially I hate getting interrupted during that, because then it just really breaks your flow. Now though, this one should be at least relatively comfortable, because he's only got 2 SO6 to deal
Remember,
with. They're all going to
1,700
come
feet
from
above
the
the
same
target.
location.
Remember,
And
This is a much
1,700
safer
feet above the
wave
target.
than the first
Remember,
one we just saw.
1,700 feet above the target.
Not to mention as well, then
Remember,
it's
1,700
swarm, so he
feet
doesn't
above
have
the
to deal
target.
with like anything sensitive, like for example the hardens or the recursives that he will eventually have to take on.
All he has to do is take his time and pick his shots.
Yep, which if anybody can do that, that is definitely Puddy. I think Puddy is getting ready to take on the swarms, but I'm wondering if a wave is going to spawn just before then. In fact, I
There
don't know
they
where
are.
that thing he is. I think it's just getting stuck, so he's going to lose a little bit of time here, having to deal with the SO6.
Alright.
Swapping over to the Mark 23, using the land
That's probably
in
a good
effect
move.
here.
Using that laser, and there we go.
Again, lost a bit of time because of the interruption of SO6, but
Oh,
Orange
thank
Room
God.
is a tough one anyway.
Orange Room is definitely a spooky room to play a one-hit in.
Yeah. I mean, this was, of course, at least now that contestants don't have to deal with Cursed Ladder as much anymore.
You
If at
know,
all.
I'll say, I never really had much trouble with Cursed Ladder before those updates.
Oh. I will say, though, with the ladder updates, it does affect Hold 4 in that the SO6 do take their sweet time coming up the ladder coming from Purple Room into the
It
Blue
absolutely does.
Hallway. It really kills timings a little bit, at least for me.
That could play into his favor, playing a one-hit, knowing that he has an extra buffer of time to clear out what's in front before going to the back.
Yeah. Puddy's still maintaining control. It looks like the
Don't
recursives
do
just
me like
spawned.
this.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
That-
Ooh, that was a close one.
Don't
Yeah,
play
that
that game.
Solsic was
There are the
dodging
recursives.
pretty well, having to reload on his M1 there, but being able to retain control pretty well. Did again lose a bit of
I
time
make
because
the
of
rules.
Solsic interruptions. That's just bad time. That's just unfortunate timing, really.
Man,
Play
it
stupid
shows
games,
you
win stupid
just
prizes.
how
That's what it
quickly
is.
things can go from being perfectly fine to sheer and utter panic in
I
a
mean,
one hit.
you saw my run yesterday, where I lost connection to my Oculus Link, where I was just frozen.
there, yeah.
If I was 1 second later, I mean, I would have lost anyway, but that run would have ended completely.
And it's that
I keep getting
Except
two
all the
stores too.
time in a
There's
one
no
hit.
way to actually like
Yeah.
mix things around. At least options away
Let's see,
along.
that looks like it could be another battle rifle roll.
Because
I
feed
think
him
that
a
was
little bit of something to keep
a
that stock
rifle
constant
roll,
intact,
actually.
and then
He's rolling
that's
ammunition.
it. At least I got tracers for a blue
What is
helm.
that? It's hard to
Tracers.
see in the dark.
Man.
He's taking it no matter.
Yeah, he just mentioned, I believe
Oh,
it's
I mean, I
tracers,
guess I'll
so
have to
that might
just
help
use
in
my
terms
trigger
of his
finger.
shot
That could help.
placement, especially in the dark blue hallway.
At this point, probably he's going to be angling towards upgrading the mags, unless he really doesn't like the M1A.
He might be lucky and get himself an 8-point AR roll. I would definitely take that. Oh
I'll risk
no,
it.
He's taking the
Of course,
6
I get
point.
punished.
Rolled the
dear.
M4.
That is quite interesting. I wouldn't have expected him to take that. At least I would have thought he would have taken the 8-point assault rifle roll.
Did he have an 8 point?
No, it was a 6-point because
That means
that
these can go.
has. I think that's a 20-round mag.
That's a 20-round mag for his M4, so it's more than the M1A. But
Sucks.
he is going to have a bit of trouble with armor, even with that round.
Yeah, you
because
see,
the
I mean,
M4's
he's
barrel...
got an infinite ammo, so that'll come in handy. But even then,
Alright.
I agree with you there, Spanners. I probably would have just upgraded the magazine on the M1A. We'll have to ask him about his about this decision.
Usually by the time that, at least when I'm running, when I sink 6 points into a
Just
gun,
minimizing my
unless it's something
potential
really
wreck
trash
from
like the
coming back.
SKS, I usually just kind of roll with it.
You don't like the SKS?
It's
Hitting with a
trash.
Oh,
The
Could sell all my
Bubbed
guns, upgrade these
SKS
magazines and
is
stick to those, but it really boils
awful.
down to what bullets I get.
really? I've actually
is
had
AP.
decent
Well, I do
performance
it,
with it.
though.
But before we argue
Well,
about
I
whether
do
the
it.
SKS is
Only
good or
AP
not, Puddy
holds me
has
over
rolled
and
himself
can upgrade the
incendiary
magazine
ammo
if I
for
do.
his M4. So I
Ooh,
think
that's
Get the better sight
that's
on
dangerous.
I think dangerous in the fact that if
Let's
a
try it.
ricochet happens and he catches on fire,
in the next hold.
he's
Obviously.
probably as good as done because he's already eaten his health
Yes, I don't
sourcing.
get a
Or
double
if
six this time
something
around.
like what happened with Gerald Violence,
And I'm not even
where he
holding
shot
the
one
point
of the
yet.
greenberries with
We got
incendiaries.
some work out of it.
Yeah. And this, from hold 4, I think onwards, this is where sources will be throwing berries.
Oh, that's
far
incendiary
more
instead,
often.
huh? That's good too.
Definitely. Yeah,
Just
this
means
is
I need to
where
hold my
this is
distance.
the take and the hold phase where they start showing up way more often.
Alright.
Yeah. We're hearing from Duga that he thought that only API sets off grenades. I'm not too sure now.
Nope, any incendiary round will set them off.
There you go. Looks like Puddy's taking the corners slowly here. Don't
As he
blame-
should.
Yeah, don't blame him all for this because Soulseek patrols can come down from Red Room and just totally ruin your day.
Taking a moment to let them de-aggro before coming back around the corner.
No.
Yep.
Finishing him off.
Rushing
And
straight
he's
in.
Remember,
in.
I make the
There we go.
rules.
Alright, let's see how
1,700
he
feet
does.
above the target.
It is a little bit darker here, so we might miss a couple of details.
Looks like, oh no, he did have both sets come in right in front of him. That's going
very
to be handy for score.
Going to be handy for score because then he doesn't have to wait for the one coming from Purple Ladder. Again, same as well, so that's been pretty decent for the recursive spawn. That's 1, 2, 3. Gonna have to run a little bit just to come around the corner. Loses a small amount of time. Oop, getting a couple of hedgehogs, but all in all, pretty quick.
And those ricochets are scaring me,
Good.
Armadillo.
Yeah.
Just
I-
seeing them go all over the place.
I
Ugh.
really like if this is gonna go wrong for Puddy, it will be when he's taking on the agiles and one stray bullet will probably ricochet and get him in the face.
With those incendiaries, we've seen incendiaries end one hits on multiple occasions.
We've seen them almost end even standard spawn locks. I mean, if you recall as well, where I lost my mind at the fact that Jedi caught fire from incendiary P90s.
True.
So
It is at the point where I don't even take them when I see them in my one hits.
oh, I'm not that. I wouldn't say I'm that risk averse though. Stealth encryptions will be spawning soon. I believe there's about 4 that will spawn here. Yep, they've spawned. That's
Yep,
1,
there
that's
they
2.
are.
pretty decent placement if it's all foot. Yep, and it was. That
That was a lucky spawn in for the stealths, all
Yeah.
coming in that long stretch.
I'll say that would
Oh,
redeem
shit.
a
Okay,
lot
here.
from
Hold
his
here.
holds in orange room and light blue room in terms of the delays that he had.
I think mainly just that delay we saw with the recursives just now. Since that did take several seconds to run down the end of the hallway.
There's that too. But now he's going to be taking on his first instances of armored Sosigs, which shouldn't really be much of effort, especially with 556. Playing a little bit risky here, being out of cover a lot. He's doing a bit of sidestepping, you know, which isn't unheard of, but it's just with the fact of doing a one hit. I mean, I'm just impressed that he's taking that risk and chance.
We have seen a number of runners take this aggressive spot in blue hallway, trying to get closer to the Sosigs so you don't have as long a shot to try and hit.
Agiles
Oh, there's the Agiles.
Oh, that was a good one. That's two.
Fast.
Losing a couple of seconds there, but
bugger.
not too bad. I mean, I think the delay from that was kind of the barrier from it being a great one, but it was still a good takedown nonetheless.
It was still a good and I don't know. I won't say safe with those incendiaries because I'm just paranoid about those now.
I mean, you just saw it
But,
just then. I mean, the ricochets on that hit another Sosig. That could have easily have gone Wile E. Coyote style, and by Wile E. Coyote, I mean the cartoon character, not the fellow contestant.
Pulled a death muncher, no less.
Yeah.
Back out of there. Keep going. Just let him
I think
cycle
I saw
around. We'll figure it out. Of course, I
I
want
want
to
to say
get
the
2
10
shots.
point grenade launcher roll.
Otherwise.
I think I did, yeah.
I can sell.
Yeah, he's
but I
not
can't-
surprising he's
no,
going
I-
to ignore
yeah, I
that.
can
But
sell,
if he
but I
did get
can't
himself the
upgrade.
mill core, he does have infinite ammo, so he could just spam that to high heaven.
So either I
Not that I
YOLO or-
would, unless if I have a shield as well to go with it, because that sounds like an easy recipe for blasting yourself.
The problem is the shop is
Indeed.
in the hold.
The grenade launcher is a
Of course it is.
spicy roll, even on a standard health, much less in one hit.
Yeah. Puddy
So we're
taking
just
those
gonna keep
corners,
cycling
going around the corners, very nice, thinning out T hallway at this moment in time.
Clearing that out. T hallway is one of the more
Yep, he's on me.
awkward ones
All
to
right.
clear out because there isn't
Maybe
a
I'll
lot
abide
of
to your
angles you
rules
can
just for
take
a split
from.
second
And there's
so
a
But
lot
as-
of
calm down.
Sosigs.
And there's a lot standing right there, showing that there are these back hallways, as Putty is showing us, that you can just kind of bounce before clearing them out, taking a risky leap across the hallways.
Ooh, yeah. How many supply points does he have? 2 or 3?
I think it's 2.
Alright, well, which means then that he might get the recycler,
They're all too
or
loud.
he might
They're all
get
too noisy.
ammo supply. Hopefully it's an ammo supply so we can upgrade his
done yet.
M4 there
Of course
from,
we're not done yet.
from 20 to 30.
None of
Looks
these
like it's a
folks
recycle
even
station.
peeked.
Ooh, yeah, so he's not going to be able to upgrade the magazines on his weapons there.
It shouldn't be too much. Oh, he does have the 8 point, but I don't think he has enough tokens for that.
He will if he sells weapons, which he is. He's selling the Vector and the M1. Seems like he's just trusting getting the Mark 18 with only the 30-round mag. He technically spent
It is
8 points for
more-
a... Yeah, I mean, he's got backups, I suppose. But the Mark
He's got
18 with
backups.
incendiary rounds will still be
I
pretty
have 2
decent.
of them now.
30 is more than
And a lot of
20.
bullets.
It looks like he's going to stick with
to have
that
2 of them
as his
because if
primary.
worst
Yeah,
comes
this is
around,
still going to be quite difficult.
it's
I
actually better
mean,
the other
just
way
because of the
around,
fact
I
that
have to say.
when it comes to speed meat, I have no idea how this is going to go. It's one hit. He'll probably take it a little bit slow, which, you know, isn't a bad thing.
And they
E
all look the
hallway
same way.
is one of those holds
out.
that I found
Sorry,
you
friend.
can really work
As much as I like your
like
laser.
clockwork as far as keeping
Only had room
control
for it.
of the room.
Yeah.
It does rely on
And
good
there was no
positioning,
reason to do
so
it.
we'll see how Putty handles it,
thought that
especially
counts.
doing a one hit.
May as well.
Yeah.
But
Maybe the
And
one
he is
time
T
I
hallway is
actually need to
definitely
run out of
safer
bullets
than
or something,
others.
it's gonna save
Yeah,
my life.
okay. And it looks like he rolled muscle meat there, which isn't going to be necessarily useful. I think muscle meat is considered basically one of the most useless power-ups you can get.
Well, you can delete Sosigs by hucking magazines at them.
I mean, that's true, but, I mean, he has, you know, 30 smaller
You good?
things he could throw at them.
But you throw all 30 at once.
Well, what, all the bullets? If you could carry that
Yeah.
many at once, sure.
Swap bullets.
No, just they're
Pull
all
out
in the
the
mag.
30
Huck them all
ones.
at once.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just and use the gunpowder that's in them as
Man.
well.
Well, you throw the gunpowder too. You threw the whole bullet.
Assemble your own death is the new tool for SO6. They get mailed the brass, the primer, and they have to assemble it for them to put it in their own faces.
Goodness
course.
gracious. Well, looks like he's has he not spawn locked the 30 rounders?
No. Oh, well, I think he forgot, but he has now. But he hasn't swapped out the ammunition to incendiaries. I mean, even then, though, I totally understand where you're coming from, Spanners, in
They're
terms of
not.
the paranoia associated with
Quite literally so with the incendiary.
ricochets.
Fuck out of here.
It looks like he is leading with the Mark 18 as well, which of the two guns he has right now, I'd say the M4 is a little bit better because it has the longer barrel.
Nope.
The Mark 18 I find struggles just a little bit more to deal with armored Sausages.
Maybe, but I mean that all depends on the ammunition he's got. Well, I mean the fact that he's got incendiary, I don't think it's gonna matter, and the delta on the difference on the distances, sorry, are probably going to be insignificant. Where those two differences aren't really going to matter. I mean, I'd still agree and still say he'll probably still get more punch out from the M4,
I swear I pressed it
but
10
it's
times.
not going to be an essential.
If you're just rocking Full Metal Jacket, I definitely
Whatever
have
happens,
noticed
happens. At this point, time to eat my good luck
those
sausage.
rounds deflect more often coming out of the Mark 18.
Could that potentially just be a placebo? Don't know.
Enjoy
I'd
that
have to
while it
do some
lasts.
research on
Get
that.
all this shit
We'll
out.
have to do
One,
some science TM and come back to
three,
you.
Yeah,
four,
definitely.
5.
Alright, so it looks like he's pretty much ready.
Okay.
Already consumed that muscle meat because, well,
Having a bit of
he's
a
not,
snack.
Yep, he's not going to need it.
It's time.
Looks like he's progressing now towards T hallway. Constantly checking his corners.
I hear the steps.
As you should in a one
Faster
hit.
than your
Oh
steps.
yeah, and here we go. Getting into
Just to
hole
make
5.
sure. There we go.
Ready
One-
to rock and roll.
One for all the meatballs. Taking a decent command and control of all the corners of T hallway at this moment in time. I don't know how
This
many
is
stealths he's got though.
I'm not sure how many stealths. This is a classic route to take, especially in a one hit for clearing out T hallway. Hanging out by this
Yeah.
door because
Stealths have
these
now
guys will come
spawned.
out fast.
He's got at least
There's
6 to
stealth.
deal with.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, and 5.
Will he get shot in the back is the real question.
Yeah, he's taking this very slow. He's taking this slower than not anybody else
I
would
really
in a
didn't
standard
like-
spawn lock, which is kind of obvious.
And then I'll
That's
be doing
6,
that.
that's 7. He's got
Oh, he's
8.
missing one. There it is.
Sometimes you
there
just
it
gotta take
is.
your
Yeah.
time.
Lost a little bit of time. I'm kind of going to predict about a 194,
Remember,
maybe a
700
195
feet
here.
above the target.
That feels about on pace.
Yeah.
I do realize he doesn't have any power-ups, or does
I
he?
almost
He's
all
got
he's
infinite
got-
ammo.
All he's got is infinite ammo for the speed meat now coming up,
Fuck.
so this
I'm
could
sorry.
get really dangerous and he could lose
He
control
definitely did.
really quickly. I mean, even on
Friend.
standard spawn lock, one
Friend.
can lose control of
Reload.
the situation once those agile spawn.
And he's on a one hit.
Your pace
This is
just
gonna be
gets
very
completely
scary.
disrupted when you see those orange buggers start moving about.
So far, he's keeping decent control of the room. He's having to rush a little bit to keep up, though. And there's
Agiles
the
have now
Agiles.
spawned. He's consumed his infinite ammo. Seems like he's taking this time to try and clear out some of them before the Sosics come around the corner. That was a decent 3 of them taken. No, 2 of them, sorry, taken out there. 3,
Last
4.
couple.
We're in
That was
the
still
clear.
decently
And he
quick.
made it.
Good.
Ooh,
Now,
boy.
just keep your
He
shit
managed to
together
time
and
that, I
you'll be
think,
fine.
very, very well in terms of the pace of the Sosigs. So he didn't rush it too much, and so he didn't really put himself in any particular line of fire there from the Sosigs. But now he's got the
That was a
heavies.
good clear.
Now
I
he's got the
can't
heavies
set
to deal
myself on
with.
fire. That's the only
And
issue
oh
that's
man,
gonna lie
if
ahead.
they get a shot off,
Don't
like
set yourself
the
fire.
it's basically like it feels like a 70% chance he's gonna get hit if he even lets them get aggroed and pull the trigger.
I'd say we are at the home stretch, though, because the spawn rate is, of course, much slower than the speed meet, and Puddy has plenty of firepower to just delete them.
It's just a matter of timing then at that point. And I mean, with the ammunition that he's got as well, he'll be able to penetrate cover in case the spider's out pretty badly.
And there's no telling
Yeah,
when a
later, huh?
crazy leg is just
Interesting.
gonna go off into the next zip code.
Yeah, he will need to be careful because he only has a 30 round mag, so he won't just be able to just spray all over it.
He does have that spare Mark 18, so he might do a hot swap to that to deal with the regenerative.
Might lose a second, but you know, will probably be better than having to reload. Oh, here we go.
We're about to find
Oh,
out. That's a beautiful cluster.
That's a really decent.
And we're in the clear.
Oh,
wow.
nice. And that is a one hit completed from Puddy.
And
Not
that
bad.
gives him a
I can
194
live with that.
2820. Yep, I was pretty much on point.
Right on.
All
That was
right,
a
nice,
solid
nice.
one hit.
Yep,
GG.
that was fantastic. That is pretty That is a pretty
All right,
textbook
so
one hit, if I'd say so myself.
Jot it down.
I would agree. That was he played it safe the whole time. Could have definitely been faster on a few of those clears, but you know, as we were
All right.
talking about
You can
several
hear me, right?
times, the
Yes, I
ultimate
can.
goal of one hit is
So.
survival.
Yeah, no minigun
All right,
roll though, but
194,
he didn't need
No
it.
minigun.
820.
What a shame.
Yeah.
All right, with that in mind, let us jump into the main stage.
Let's do that.
All right.
Hello.
How you feeling,
Welcome
buddy?
back.
After that run?
Thanks. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was. If I'd say so,
Good.
that was a pretty textbook run you had there.
Not really. The guns and everything? My God.
I mean, yeah,
Well-
you still made it work though, and that's what I mean by textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry,
Mhm.
something is loud there. I will put the volume down. Thank you, Kogi.
Had a couple of rough
All right.
rolls at the start, but once you got yourself your carbines, you just kind of consumed everything in front of you.
I've written down everything that I don't want to happen in the run, and the checklist that I can now mark is pretty big. It's literally the guns I don't want. It's literally the pushes that I didn't want. It's there was a lot of things that, yeah,
But you survived.
yeah. I trained for worst case, including just having a Cobra and seeing if I can only with the Cobra by modding it win the one hit, and that had a better score than this one too. In fact,
Oh
and I
wow.
actually made it. So I've trained for a lot of situations that I could find myself in, including guns that I don't like or I don't favor, or bullets that are not meant to penetrate the shields and stuff that come later down the line.
All right, Dragon. If you haven't already, just for the sake of chat as well, can you please give Puddy his score without and
All
with
right.
a one-hit modifier?
Without the one hit modifier?
With and without.
I was about to say I was waiting for my cue on that. Anyway, Putty, with your raw score of 194,820, since you survived a standard spun lock one hit, that gives you a multiplied score of 224,043.
I'm taking it.
That is
A spicy score.
yep, that is incredible.
Yep.
With that in mind, we will open this up to chat for any questions. While that is happening, we do have a question. What made you pick, or what made you not want to keep the M1 Shorty? Is that on your list of weapons that you just don't want, so you just went for the M4 with only the 20 rounder?
The M1, the problem with it is that there's a lot of quality of life features that I'm used to on your average M4, M16, the typical platform, which I am not accustomed with at all on the M1. The other issue is if I one-handed in the worst case scenario, I have a really awkward angle I need to hold the gun at. And I like to keep my guns nice and close when I point fire with one hand in case when I'm filling mags or I'm trying to eat a power up or and then of course the modability aspect of things. I was kind of hoping maybe I can get a laser on top of things, and the M1 has the tendency with the low profile lasers to not allow me to use them. And I don't know, the gun overall, especially after rolling tracers in comparison to the incendiary, was the inferior pick. Not to mention that with the constant fact of 2 shops only, there was not really much room to bank on only that, because if I would have had to commit to just that, knowing that I might not get an assault rifle down the line, that could have could have made things a bit sour. So I was like, well, maybe I can grab something and get a bigger mag capacity in the process of just swapping guns, which I did. The 20 rounders came, and without them, maybe I would have died because I ran out of ammo once in the blue hallway, which thankfully was after I nailed them all to the ground. But yeah,
All right.
That is fair enough.
Spanners, do you have any questions?
Now we kind of covered what I was most curious about, being why not the M1A.
people barely ever have
Uh,
questions for me. It's weird.
I
You know,
mean, I would say that comes down to a skill issue, but obviously your performance
yeah, your skill's
proves
too high,
otherwise.
so no one's got any questions.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, very procedural run. Usually I'm a bit more just hectic, but I told myself yesterday while I was labbing that if there's a way to slow things down and slow myself down, I might as well just do that over trying to get things done fast. And usually I finish in 24 minutes. I'd much rather take 7 more minutes and ensure my survival than trying to like look flashy or fast.
We do have one question from chat. Someone
Is
wants to
it
know.
a reasonable one or is it a stupid one?
It's a reasonable
I mean,
one, I would say, and by
All right.
you be
reasonable
the
I
judge.
mean ridiculous. But I'll let you
Okay.
be the judge.
How would you feel about instead fighting sentient burritos instead of hot dogs?
I would be hungry 24/7. I love burritos. I don't like hot dogs as much in terms of food though. So it's like if there were burritos,
I feel like that's
constantly.
blasphemy, but I can't really put my finger on that.
How?
I don't
How
know.
is that blasphemy?
I don't know.
May
You're playing a.
Jerry smite you from on high.
No,
May
think
all
about it. You
your
can
rolls
fill hot
be
dogs into a burrito.
a super shorty.
That would be a
You
very,
deserve that
very
super
fragile
shorty.
burrito.
Very fragile burrito indeed. It would be fun. You bite into it, just like circular objects. You bite. It would feel weird.
Yeah.
Is a hot dog in a bun, in fact, a burrito?
No. Burritos are completely wrapped. You could
Alright
debate
then.
it's a taco because one side is open, but not a burrito.
Oh, what have you done? Now, yeah. In fact, Abe Surf has just asked that same thing of, is it a taco? And now I am probably not going to be able to sleep at night because of that question.
We should probably get out of here before we start any more.
Agreed. It looks like we
crusades.
don't have any more questions from chat in regards to the run.
That's fair.
Dragon, do you have any questions of your own?
I'm good.
All right then. And with that, then we will conclude this first tour stream. Our next run will be as soon as I can get the actual sheet up, which is a bit annoying because of formatting.
You're a cheat.
I'm not a cheat.
You're a cheat. You said cheat.
I said sheet.
I heard cheat.
All right,
You're
well,
cheating.
I'm gonna get you.
Are you admitting to something?
Yes, I cheated because I didn't pick the minigun. Is that what you wanted to hear?
That
There
sounds
we
more like
go.
That sounds
There.
more like a handicap than anything.
Spanners, are you able to tell us when our next run is? I'm just having a bit of formatting issues with the spreadsheet at the
All
moment.
right,
Yep, I got you.
I got you.
Our next run will be Admiral Y11 running at 23:30 UTC. Convert that to whatever time zone you will. That's going to be in about 5 hours, 5.5 hours.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Raffle sauce, man.
Aren't
In
about
case you're
Doritos.
watching, in case you're gonna peek at the VOD till the very end. Man, I've not been losing as much sleep over other opponents in a while. I didn't even lose that much sleep over UJC against me last time.
That's
I set the foundation. It's up to you to best me, and if you manage to, then man, God forbid that I ever come back to a tournament any much stronger than I am now. Because holy shit, we've been one upping each other ever since you've been in the game for long enough to even take on one hits, and if there's somebody that can beat me, you're one of them, man. You really are. Balls in your court, friend.
And
The challenge has been set.
Yep, and with that, we will definitely now conclude this this first tour stream. Thank you all very much for for watching. Stay tuned for the next run at 2030 UTC, and make sure to stay meaty.
Meaty.
Stay meaty, my friends.
Fleshy sound. Fleshy noises. Splooch.
And with that, peace out.
Peace out.